Have you ever had one of those brilliant ideas pop into your head and you just think, man, that should totally be an app? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on exactly how that happens. We're going to walk through the entire modern playbook for turning a simple idea into a fully fledged mobile app that, actually lives on your phone.
So, you've got the spark, the million-dollar idea. But then what? What is the very next step? How do you actually get from a concept that's just rattling around in your head to a real, downloadable app? Let's break that whole process down step by step. We're going to follow the app's journey from start to finish. We'll start with how an idea gets its legs, then we'll move into design, the high-tech build, the absolutely critical testing phase, and finally, what happens after it launches. All right, so let's start at the very beginning, the spark. And this isn't just about having the idea. It's about making the foundational decisions that are going to shape literally everything that comes after. To make this really clear, let's use an analogy. Building an app is a lot like building a house. Your idea? That's the dream home you have in your mind. But before you can even think about what color to paint the walls, you have to pour the foundation. If you get this part wrong, the whole structure is at risk. And that very first foundational choice is a huge one. Do you build a native app or a cross-platform app? See, a native app is like a custom-built home. It's designed perfectly for its specific piece of land, say for iOS or for Android. With this, you get the absolute best performance and security. On the other hand, a cross-platform app is more like a high-quality modular home. You build it once and it can be placed on different lots, both iOS and Android, which, as you can imagine, is way more efficient and cost-effective. So once that foundation is decided, it's time to draft a blueprint. This is the design phase. It's where we map out exactly what the app is going to look like, what it's going to feel like, and what it's going to do for the person using it. And this is where the magic of UI/UX design comes in. UI, or user interface, is all about the aesthetics, the colors, the buttons, the layout. It's the curb appeal of our house. Then you have UX, or user experience. That's the flow. How easy is it to get from the kitchen to the living room? Is the layout intuitive? Together, UI and UX form the complete architectural blueprint for our developers, who are basically our construction crew. And this blueprint is where all the cool features get planned out. Is this app going to need to handle secure payments? Will it use your phone's location to find things nearby? Maybe it needs to connect with smart devices through IoT or include an AI chatbot for customer support. All these core functions, they're mapped out right here in the design stage. Okay, blueprint in hand. It's time for the hard hats to come on. This is the construction phase, the high-tech build, where lines of code and some seriously cutting-edge technology bring the whole thing to life. Now, this construction happens across all kinds of different platforms. The ones we all know are for smartphones and tablets, and they serve huge industries like e-commerce and healthcare. But developers are also building for wearables, like your Apple Watch, or even for smart TVs, totally transforming spaces like fitness and media streaming. And each one of these platforms requires its own set of specialized skills. But here's the thing, a modern app is so much more than just lines of code. It's really a powerhouse of advanced technology working behind the scenes. This is what gives today's apps their superpowers. First up, you've got artificial intelligence. You can think of this as the app's brain. It's what powers predictive features, like how Netflix just knows what show you want to binge next, or those helpful chatbots that guide you through a service. Then there's blockchain. And look, forget crypto for a second. In the app world, this is like a digital fortress. It provides this incredible layer of security for transactions and data, and it enables things like managing a supply chain or even creating a secure digital ID. Next up is the Internet of Things, or IoT. This is basically the app's nervous system. It's what connects it to the physical world around us. It's how your fitness app gets data from your smartwatch, or how your smart home app turns on the lights before you get home. And finally, there's augmented and virtual reality. This is the app's imagination. It's what creates these immersive experiences that blend the digital world with our physical one. Think of a game where characters pop up right in your living room. So the house is built. It looks amazing. But you wouldn't just move in without a thorough inspection, right? Of course not. And that brings us to our fourth stage, testing. It's the gauntlet that every single app has to run through before it ever meets the public. Before the launch, quality assurance experts become the app's toughest critics. They do functional testing to make sure every button does what it's supposed to. They do performance testing to make sure it's fast and doesn't drain your battery. And they do security testing to find any and all vulnerabilities. Their job is to find every single crack so it can be fixed before you ever see it. And this whole testing process isn't some one-time thing at the very end. Modern teams use what's called an agile process. So instead of building the entire app at once and then testing it, they build one piece at a time, test it, get feedback on it, and improve it. It's this continuous cycle of building and refining that makes the final product so much stronger.
The app has passed all the tests, and it is officially launched on the App Store. So we're done, right? Well, not even close. In fact, a whole new chapter is just beginning. This is the long game.
An app is a living thing. It needs ongoing maintenance to fix any new bugs that pop up and performance monitoring to keep it running fast and smooth. Developers dive deep into analytics to understand how people are actually using it, and all that data leads to continuous upgrades with new features. The work is really never done.
To bring all this home, let's look at a real example. The idea for a parking app sounds simple, right? Just help people find a parking spot. But for that idea to become a real, functional app, it had to go through every single stage we've talked about, from choosing the right foundation, to designing the experience, to all the testing and post-launch support. So, there you have it. From a tiny spark of an idea to a complex ecosystem of technology and ongoing support, that is the modern app building playbook. It just goes to show you that your great idea is only the first, crucial step on a much longer journey. So, the only question left is, what's your next step gonna be?